Good morning.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good, because I got this weird message saying that there was something wrong with my sound, and I guess that was not correct.
I get I get the same thing also. I think it's sometimes your sound can be like another app could be
Yeah.
taking the sound, and that could be it. Because I get the same message.
Oh, okay. Because the thing is, technology is always a problem for me anyway. So, it doesn't surprise me when things don't work. But that's going too far to tell me something that's not true like that,
I agree. I
you
agree.
know. So, all right. Anyways, let me turn on my cool tablet here, which I just bought during the summer. I actually have the equivalent of two monitors here. Now it's too big
Nice.
for me to show it to you, but I've got my
Mhm.
little pen here. So when I'm writing on the screen, it'll be actually on this little tablet over here on my right hand side. So if you see me constantly looking over here, it's because I'm looking at my tablet.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you'll see it works well. Let me open up our notes and maybe show it off a little. Where are we? So I'm going to open up chapter one. I assume you want to go over chapter one.
Yes. Yes.
Here we go. So I'm going to save it with your name on it, so that if I write a bunch of stuff on here, I can send you a copy of it, and we'll know which is the right one. Okay.
Okay.
And also today's date in case we meet again. All right. So here we go. So let me just show you. I'm going to be writing over here. Oh, look what's happening. It's like magic. I'm drawing on. It's almost like being on the whiteboard, but except it's over here on this little. It really is just like having a second monitor. That's essentially what it is. It's
That
seeing
is
whatever is
nice.
on the screen, but I can't write on this computer, but I can write on the
Mhm.
tablet.
And it shows up on the computer. That is
Yes,
nice. That
it's
is
amazing.
nice.
You know what? This is very helpful for online teaching because during the summer, most of my classes are online, and that means I'm basically
Mhm.
recording myself like this, where I'm
Mhm.
lecturing from the computer and I'm writing on the monitor instead of a whiteboard because I don't have a whiteboard. And then I can post everything on YouTube. So it works out pretty well. But I had a really old tablet that wasn't really working out so well. So I thought
Mhm.
I'll spend some money and get a really nice one because I really use it. And
Yeah,
so so far it's worked really well. Okay. I mean, I'm still getting used to it, but I'm very impressed with it.
awesome.
The only
That
thing
is
is I have to keep
awesome.
reminding myself that it's the control is coming over here on the computer. So I'm reaching over here trying to find the mouse and no, it's this one. So all right, I'll don't worry, I'll get used to it, but you'll probably notice my head turning around a million times. So all right,
That's okay.
where do you want to start?
I know one of the things that I was having problems with was the quadratic formula. Like I
Oh, okay.
know the actual formula. I think problem starts to come in is when I have an actual problem and I have to solve for it.
Okay. I'll tell you what, I'm going to open up a separate document for this so that we can write whatever we want. The thing
Okay.
about the slides is it's great if you just want to, point out things, but for a completely new example, it's probably going to be easier to write on a Word document. So let me just get that open and save it. Let's see. So I'll just call this little examples. 9, 17, 20. All right, this way we won't lose it. All right, so the quadratic equation, for a quadratic function.
Mm,
Um, okay, so that's what you're trying to do. Now, let's just say um, I'm going to plan an example here. I have to be careful because if I choose the wrong numbers, we'll end up with imaginary numbers. So,
Okay. Okay.
okay, this will do it. So let's say that you're confronted with this one. This one should work. It will not give us imaginary numbers. Right. So that means that A is 2, B is
Okay.
-4, C is 1. So now what you're going to do is plug everything into that formula.
Got it. Write the formula.
Now, here's where you got to watch it. B is negative. So negative B means -4. That's one thing that is easy to make a mistake with.
That yes, yes.
People do it all the time. So, it's just something you should be aware of that it's easy to make sign errors with this formula. So as long as
Okay.
you're careful, double check what you've done. And also, if you find yourself with a negative square root here, that means you've done something wrong too. Because at least in this chapter, we're not going to have any imaginary numbers. Now, this is where it can get a little tricky. Obviously 8 is not a perfect square, so we're going to have 8 is equivalent to 2 radical 2. So let's write it like that.
Okay.
Now, it just so happens that all those numbers are even, so I'm going to simplify it a little. And now, the way you interpret this is that this plus and minus symbol means what you're actually doing is two things. You've got 2 minus radical 2 over 2 and 2 plus radical 2 over 2. And since you can't simplify this any further, we're going to leave it like this. Those are the two solutions.
Okay. That makes sense.
Now, I don't know exactly that value, that's about 1.7, I think. But we don't, unless you're trying to figure out, for example, a price or something like that, you can just leave it like this. But let's say there's some reason why you really must know the exact value here. Let's say 2 minus radical 2.
Mm.
And that's not likely to happen, but let's just say, oh, it's only, oh my God, it's smaller than it. This one is 0.29 approximately.
Okay.
Oh, okay. The one on the right is approximately 1.7, 1.71. So on a test, you wouldn't need to bother. Just this is fine right here. The 2 minus radical 2 over 2, 2 plus radical 2 over 2. Now, if you're not positive you've done this correctly, you can double check. If you plug in either one of these into the original equation, it will give you 0. That's what we're looking for.
Okay. Okay.
So in other words, if you want to double check, you can double check. Oh my God, look how some font is. You should probably, especially if you're not positive that you're doing this correctly, you should double check by substituting these values into the original equation. You should get y equals 0 if you've done it correctly.
Okay.
And that's how you know. If you get something else, there's something not right. So you know what I'm going to do? I assume you have paper there.
Yes, yes.
I'm going to make up a new example and you're going to do it all by yourself.
Nice. Okay, okay.
Just make sure that it is. Numbers are good. Okay, there we go. You're going to try this one.
Okay.
All by yourself. Y equals, this is a classic example on a test. X squared. If you can do this one, you can do them all. I mean, some of them are messier than others, but the procedure never changes. X squared minus 8x. Okay, so I'm going to say nothing until you're done.
Okay.
You're on your own, as if it were a test.
Okay, I believe I have it.
Okay.
So what I have is 8 negative square root of 48 over 2 and 8 plus square root of 48 over 2.
Yes, that's very good.
Got it.
Okay, so let's go through this. So you're going to have yes, very good. Minus 8. You were not fooled by that minus.
Yes.
So let's see what we get when we combine all of that. 8 plus and minus. So under the square root, we have 64 minus 16
hmm
over 2. So you have 8 plus and minus radical 48 over 2.
Yes.
And that's correct. Now, I mean, it could be simplified a little, but that's fine. That is the correct answer.
Okay. And if you wanted to simplify it,
Oh, here's what you would do if you want to simplify. Let's just say you're a lunatic perfectionist and you must, or else it
okay.
specifically says in the instructions, you absolutely must do this. It turns out 48, radical 48 is the same thing, 16 times 3. So that's actually 4 radical 3. And so what's going to happen is because they're all even, you're going to have 8 plus and minus 4 radical 3. over 2, which is 4 plus and minus 2 radical 3. But it's the same number, so yours is not wrong. It's just there's a little more simplification available, but that's a low priority. Let's put it that way. Very low priority.
Okay.
So yeah, so you know, if you can simplify it a little, that's fine. But this is absolutely correct.
Okay.
I would never take
'Cause I
any
remember-
points off for not simplifying. This is the correct answer.
Okay. Because I remember last year, you stated that in math, if you can simplify, do simplify,
You
but
do.
okay,
Yeah, it's
okay,
just by convention. We always try to keep things as simple as possible. But having said that, these two numbers are the same numbers, so yours is not incorrect. But you know, if you had time, you could go ahead and simplify it a little further. But it's fine the way it is.
okay, okay. I'm glad I got that correct.
Yeah, it means that you do get it. It's just that maybe you made a mistake in one of the others that I don't know, maybe
Yeah,
it might have been that negative business, whatever it was probably something trivial. You know, like I said, it's so easy to make mistakes with this formula.
got
But I
it.
mean, I can see that you understand the process, and that's what matters.
Okay.
But so in the test, what you have to do is resist the temptation to hurry through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You should have plenty of time to finish it without rushing it. So if you're careful, or at least go back and double check it when you're done, you shouldn't have any problems.
I think what I was doing wrong
Mhm.
was I was a like x squared is a, 8x, negative 8x is b, and 4 is c. I think what was happening was I was getting those mixed up. It was
Oh,
probably
okay.
I was probably making x a and all that, and I'm like, wait, I didn't get
Yeah,
the answer that the person was showing me that I got.
right.
So that's probably where the
Yeah.
mistake was at.
Oh, sure. If you get those wrong, the rest is just, it can't possibly be right. So, luckily, it's easy because you're going from left to right, A, B, C. It's always
Mm-hmm.
written. This is one of the reasons why I always try to write equations in a consistent way so that the highest exponent comes first. So that for a formula like this, there's never any doubt about which letter is which.
Okay, the highest exponent comes first.
Right.
Got it. Okay. Okay. It's good that I know that. It's good that because
Yeah.
anytime I can see an equation, and if it
Right.
is written wrong, which I doubt it'd be written wrong, but just in case it is, the highest exponent comes first.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you know what? Here's why that's so important, because what happens if the equation is written like this? Y equals, in fact, for some reason, it's written backwards or something like that. Then you know to
Mm,
rewrite it as minus x squared plus 4x plus 3 before you assign a, b, and c. Okay, it could
got
happen.
it. Yeah.
This is what you want. Otherwise, the a, b, and c have different meanings. So if you look at it and you say, wait a minute, that's not in standard form. I better put it into
Mhm.
standard form. Ah, see?
Then you will rewrite it. So,
Yes,
and this is just a question for my brain because I know my brain is going to be like, wait, what? For 8x squared or negative 8x squared,
right.
that would be a higher exponent than 4x, correct?
No, when I say the highest exponent, I mean this is 2. This one has an implicit exponent of 1. Not, you're talking about the coefficient. No, I mean the actual exponent.
Oh, the actual exponent.
Yeah,
Okay, okay,
see what I
okay,
mean?
okay.
So x
Mhm.
has an implied exponent of 1. So the x squared term has to come first, then the x term, and then the constant is always last. You see,
Now that
so
makes sense.
it's not because of the 8. That's not relevant here. What's relevant is the actual exponents, not the coefficients in front of them.
Got it. Okay, okay. I didn't. That's a new word that I learned.
Okay, yeah. So if that was holding you up, well, now you're all set.
Yes, now it makes sense. The x squared because this. Got it.
Right,
Got it.
right.
That makes sense.
Okay, good. So you'll never get that one wrong again then,
Yeah, yeah. Now that
unless
I
you're
know, it's like okay.
unless you're careless. You should never get it wrong again.
I second guess myself, so it's one of those things where it's like, even if I'm careless, it's like, wait, something doesn't feel right. I don't feel like this is going to come out right.
Well, that's what the double check is for. The
Okay.
double check will prove to you, yes, this is 100% correct. So remember, if
Okay.
you plug these in to the original equation and you get zeros, you're all set.
Got it. Got it. Let
So that way you
me.
don't have to fuss and say, oh God, it doesn't look right. Well, if it doesn't look right, check it out. And sometimes it's hard to tell, what the answer is supposed to look like unless you have a ton of practice.
Mhm.
You might look and say it doesn't look right, but it, if you're really worried about it, then just double check it.
Okay. Okay. Is it possible for us to do one more?
Sure. I just have to make one up because like I can't just randomly pick numbers. Otherwise, we might get into trouble with imaginary numbers. So let me try this. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna throw a curveball in here. I'm gonna write it in the wrong order. Okay.
Nice. Nice.
All right, here we go. So now you're really young. Oh. All right, carry on. Actually, I'm gonna go in the other room and get some more paper. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah. Got it.
Okay, you have your answer?
Yes. I got
Wow, that
six
was
positive
okay. Let me write it down. You have 6 plus and minus.
plus and minus radical 60 over 4.
All right, so let's go through it and see what happens. So first things first, you rearrange the equation, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, now that means that A is 2, B is 6, C is -3.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Just make sure I didn't. Yeah, 2x squared plus 6x minus. All right. -6 plus and minus 6 squared -4 to negative
Mm-hmm.
6 plus and minus 36. So what we have over here is plus 24. And you were not tricked by the negatives again. Nice. All right. It looks like you got it. Again,
Nice.
it's possible it could be simplified, but this is fine.
Okay.
Nice. All right. Well, I think you're all set. I mean, I don't see there's no other cases that could come up that would be any different than this. So
And and now that I know that A is always the highest exponent, that's going to make it
correct.
so much easier for me to remember that.
Yes. A
So
is
much
always the
easier.
square term, and B is the x term, and C is the constant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's going to make it so easy for me to
you're
remember.
right.
And now that I know, that's perfect. Oh, that's
Uh,
perfect.
all right. So that headache is gone.
Yes, yes. And for chapter two, I think linear functions with the equation, I mean with
Yeah.
the formula,
Yeah.
I think it's self-explanatory. Even
It's
if
really
you
straightforward. Yeah, that chapter is very simple. But we have to go through it because there's a lot of important applications in there, but there's nothing in there that's the least bit difficult.
yeah, I think chapter three is probably where some problems going to come in at, but I can see this week coming in
Right.
to see if I grasp anything from last year to
Yeah.
this year. But I
Oh,
believe I did.
right. You hopefully you haven't forgotten all of it, but you kept your notes, didn't you?
Of course, the same book
Yes.
that I'm writing in this year is the same book I used
Oh,
last year. So I
nice.
have all
Even
the notes.
better. Oh my
Yeah,
God, I like that.
yeah, yeah.
Because
So
a
anytime I
lot of
gotta go
people,
back,
a lot of people throw away their notes. It's unbelievable. So
no, no, no.
by keeping it in the same exact book, you can go back and double check anytime you say, hey, I don't remember what this is. And you can just go back and look, and there it is.
Yeah, no, I wanted to keep the same book so I
Well,
can always
good.
reference it. And also I
That
have to
is,
take calculus one. So it'd be nice to go back to my pre-calculus book and be like, wait, this is what I
yeah,
was doing. This is some
yes,
things that's in calculus one. Got it. So yeah, I wanted to keep it. I definitely wanted to keep it.
yeah, yeah. No, you did the right thing. And then Calc 1, we're gonna at the end of the course we're gonna start doing material that really is intro to Calc 1, and so that way you'll have some idea of what to expect, and then
Okay.
that way it's sort of like a gap, a bridge the gap kind of thing from pre-calc into Calc 1. So that will get you off to a running start. So then in the spring, it won't be completely new.
Okay. That's nice. That's nice. Thank you for meeting with me
All right,
and
no
working this
problem.
out. This was very helpful.
Yeah.
I can now look at some more problems and actually try
Yes.
to solve it on my
That's
own.
right. You
Just
know what you could do? Go back and look at the ones we did in class and make sure that you can do them. And I'm going to send you this document when we're done
thank you. Thank you.
because I'm sure it'll be helpful. See how nice this is when I write it down like this? You can't save the whiteboard, but you can save this.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
And not only that, but this is being recorded, and so I can send you a copy of the recording if you want it.
Okay, that'll work
Yeah,
also. That'll definitely
yeah.
work.
You
Thank you.
never know when you might watch the tape and something comes up that maybe I verbally said something and it wasn't written down and it might be helpful. I will. I don't know how big this file is. What I typically do is I try to put all this stuff on my YouTube account. Let me write this down, or I'll write it. Write this down: DOC
Okay. DOC
TOR ACA.
ACA.
Right. So I'll tell you what, if I I'll try to send you the actual file, the video, I mean, but if it's too large for email or something like that, I can stick it on my YouTube account, which I
Okay.
usually do anyway. And that way you can go look at it whenever you need to. Or maybe I'll do
Okay.
both.
Okay.
I could
Yeah,
actually
I've
create a separate playlist just for you if you want to.
I've definitely checked out your YouTube channel because I remember you
Okay.
stating it last year that you had one, and I looked through it
Yeah.
and understood some things, but it was some things where it's like, oh, I can't wait to go back to school and
Yeah.
talk about this because my brain couldn't grasp it at the time. But I
Right.
definitely checked out your YouTube channel. Yes.
In fact, now that I think about it, our video, oh, that's true. We didn't have a lot of videos in the fall, or the spring rather. So there isn't really much for you to look at as far as last year is concerned. But um, whatever we do create, I can put it in YouTube as well as send it directly to you. So you'll have a
Okay.
copy if you need
Okay.
it.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I'll see you in class tomorrow then.
See you in class tomorrow. Thank you,
All right.
Professor.
Okay. All right. See you tomorrow.
Bye
All
bye.
right. Bye.